Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime Making 2, and I'm back. First of all, if you like to support the channel and donate to me, my PayPal will be in the description. So thank you guys very much. I'm back with part 3 of What If Naruto Had True Immortality, guys. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual, share this with all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. I just posted a brand new series, What If Naruto and Sasuke Fuse Permanently, guys, over on Anime King. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy. And don't forget I indeed have 3 more channels. I'll be leaving the links down in the description, so don't forget to go ahead, check them out and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting more time, how about we begin this now, guys? So the last time we left off, we got to see one of Danzo's most important agents. Her name was Gaia. Gaia was special in many different ways. She was a master when it came to the craft of manipulation. She was able to step into a rather tense, explosive situation, and she was able to get everyone to calm down. She was able to make movements that others couldn't truly understand by just words alone. It was the way she go about things, the way she spoke, the way she dealt with her opponents. It was scary in a way. Her mind was, well, immaculate in every sense of the word. She was good. Really good. We found out that she was the one that set Naruto free. It was rather shocking. Someone like her. Someone that has spent years manipulating and twisting people to her own will because of serving Danzo. Because he gave her what she wanted. The freedom, the resource, everything that she desired. But now, for the first time, yes, for the first time in her life, she found herself guilty. And that was all because of Naruto Uzumaki. As she broke down. And now she was finding it difficult to do her job. She dreamed about Naruto arriving and saving her, as she knew that she was a bad person and that would never happen. However, she just hoped that he would live on, he will have a happy life. As she saw Naruto as something much more than just her captive. It wasn't anything romantic in that way. But the boy was able to ignite the feelings of family, friendship, something inside of her that she thought she lost a long time ago. Danzo still had no idea who was behind the sabotage, and it's been a couple of years, and Danzo still did not know. However, he was royally pissed because most of his experiments were stunted due to the fact that they no longer possess the unlimited source of the chakra from the tail beast. We then got to see Naruto as he was facing off against Kurama, who has gotten rather used to, well, adapting in the human form. The both of them were on a rocky mountain top. Naruto was now 15 years old. We got to see the immortality in play. Due to Naruto not feeling pain anymore, he still felt it, but pain was nothing to him anymore, so Naruto could do things like remove his arms, rip himself apart like it was absolutely nothing. He even developed ways to use his immortality to his advantage. However, the team was spotted by a group that was heading home. Samui and her team from Kumo. She immediately sensed the power and knew that this was a Jinchuriki. After all, she was rather familiar with other Jinchurikis. Kurama wanted Naruto to have a understanding of how to deal with humans as well, as Naruto has spent his entire life only speaking to one human, mostly, and that was that woman known as Gaia, the one that freed him from his captivity, the one that Naruto was promised himself to save, but he knew that he wasn't strong enough yet, and Naruto refused to ever be captured ever again. He needed to grow stronger. Kurama also saw Naruto as the light in this world. He shall be the one to fix it. His father might have believed in a way that they could use peace, but the world was no longer the same way it was when the sage was alive. In order to fix this broken world, force has to be used, and this boy Naruto Uzumaki would do it. Naruto was able to talk to Samui and the others, calming the situation to not bring any allegation of war or chaos. However, he was gone before they could really do anything about it. They report this back to their leader though. He was rather surprised. Yes, gravely so. We then skip to Konoha as we see the graduation class was just graduating. Each of them was 15 years old. Naruto was also 15 years old as well. Due to the additional 2 years that was added to make sure that the children would be more prepared after the Itachi Uchiha incident, and their symbolism that they were no longer in the warring days. They need to allow the children to grow. They need to allow them to better understand the true repercussions of being a ninja. Thus, that took place. They had 2 extra years. Meanwhile, we get to see Naruto making his way across the land, learning, adapting, trying to accumulate his newfound abilities. His immortality was tied to something much darker than most people realize, as Kurama had saw it though. Naruto could draw energy from the dead around him. However, that wasn't important right now. Naruto was found. For the last couple of years, he's been hunted by Orochimaru of the Sannin after he stopped a group of sound ninjas from terrorizing a village, and one of them stabbed him through the chest. We also got to see Naruto morality. After what he's been through, he wasn't a soft, innocent child, and that shows. His weapon that he used was crafted from his own bone because it was rather susceptible to his own chakra. Naruto was surrounded as the one leading this charge was Guren. Yes, it was Guren, one of Orochimaru's loyalists. Their job was to bring him in. Orochimaru craved Naruto. He craved to have him on his side after all. From what he heard, this boy was the one. He's been studying the patterns and he was able to finally find him. Naruto allowed Kurama to go loose. Guren was shocked though as she saw Naruto punch through her crystal. She used her own guards to sacrifice them and got away. Because this thing was not human, he was a monster. If monster were human flesh, and there was no doubt about that. Majority of Orochimaru thoughts were satisfied when Guren returned, as he was happy, as he told them all to return that he will be the one to go after the immortal child. We then saw Naruto heading towards the land of water, leaving the wooded area. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourselves to be in this new episode. We begin this new episode with a dark-haired, dark-eyed woman. Her name was Tsunami. As she made her way, there was a box in her hand. There was food inside of it. She was moving through the hilly forest area of the land of Wave. Finally arriving to her destination, she saw him seated there, his legs crossed, his eyes closed. She also saw the strange, dark energy fluctuating across his skin. His name was Naruto. She met him not too long ago, after he saved the life of her son. Flashback. Tsunami was searching for Inari. She had to scold him because he jumped into the water again, as he put his life on the line for an object. She understood that it was given to him by Kaiser, the man that he looked up to so much, and it hurt her as well that Kaiser was gone, but still, he nearly died. He was saved though. so she had to scold him. He was angry and upset because it reminded him of his weakness, that he could not do anything about their situation. She searched for him. Her father was not here. He had made his way to get help. He was going to a ninja village for aid, so they can finally finish building the bridge. The ninjas shall be his protection. She just hoped that all of this would work out, as she prayed every night that her father was safe out there. She was calling out to Inari, but she didn't see him or hear him until she saw him. But he was hiding behind a tree, terrified. As he was shaking, she soon realized why. There was a bear. A massive bear. It wasn't supposed to be in these woods. She froze up immediately. It seemed to smell Inari. There was no hesitation. None at all, as she ran, making a lot of noise, allowing the bear to target her. Inari, shaking as he collapsed down to his knees, watching the thing go after his mother. Trembling, the word of Kaiser ran through his mind. He was terrified. He couldn't move, but his mother, she was going to get hurt. He picked up a stone and threw it, knocking the bear at the side of the head. The beast turned to face him, surprisingly felt it, and it ran towards him. "Stay away from my mother," he shouted. "Inari, no," Tsunami shouted. "Run away!" As she kept on screaming and waving her hands, but it was dead set on ripping Inari apart. He was terrified and shaken, and he started to wet himself because he knew that was it. He was going to be ripped apart. However, when the bear claw came down and ripped into flesh, Inari did not feel any pain. Standing in front of the wild animal was Naruto, its claw digging deep in his chest. Naruto grabbed the thing's hand and snapped it. It howled it out in pain as Naruto lifted it with one hand. He spun and launched it away. It crashed far in the foliage, running away from what it just faced. Tsunami, she rushed towards Inari and consoled him in a tight hug, hugging him. As she looked upwards, the person started to walk away. "Wait, who are you?" she questioned. "Just someone passing by," the young man said as he made his way. It was that moment she first met him, but Inari was the one, once again venturing out, but this time not within the forest area. He made his way to the rocky areas behind their home where the cliffs were. He ran back home and told his mother that the person was there. Tsunami came up there to see him. "What do you want?" he questioned. You saved my life, and my son's life as well. "I just want to thank you," she said. She knew something was off. She had offered to give him a proper home to rest for his time here, because he was basically in a cave, but he denied what she offered. He did not do what he did for anything in return. However, she was a wonderful, nice woman that wanted to repay him. He wasn't even that old. He was perhaps 15 to 16 years old. He was a teenager on his own. She started to bring him food at first. He was untrusting, she could see it in his eyes. But the more time passed, the more he started to speak. The more he started to open up. His name was Naruto. However, he didn't give her anything else about his situation. She did not tell him anything about what was going on in the land of Wave, because she realized that he was hiding away from something. And the last thing she wanted to do was put him on Gato's radar. So she decided to leave him be. Inari had saw him a few times, but it was mostly her bringing him food to make sure that he was okay. As she smiled towards him, he opened his eyes. "Hi there, Tsunami." End of flashback. At the moment, Naruto saw the woman coming his way. She was a wonderful woman. Since his close call with Orochimaru, people coming after him, well, not really a close call. Him and Kurama had head towards the land of water. They found themselves in this region. He had to say, she was a excellent cook in every single way. Yeah, far better than you. Naruto snapped back. You pretend like you can do any better. All you do is burn the food, Naruto said, arguing with the Nine Tails. There was no spice, nothing, just burned meat. And that is what you like the most. My palate is a bit more refined. Tuh. You barely know what is good or bad. Kurama said to Naruto. I think you had the both of us mistaken, as they were arguing amongst one another. Naruto? Are you alright? Questioned Tsunami as she looked towards him. Oh yeah, I'm fine, he said, as he smiled towards her. She was a wonderful person, and she did not really interrupt his training, as Naruto was trying to get as strong as possible. His meditation was similar to what he was doing after slaughtering all those ninjas, but unlike before, the feeling of death in the ear was small. However, bodies were buried around here, as Naruto could feel it. Naruto's powers were abnormal. The immortality alone was extreme, but the things that could be done because of said immortality. Kurama believed though that this was just the first step, as Naruto was literally able to tap into the essence of those that he had killed. Truly tapping into the power of death was something that would be shocking. He would not wield it, he would simply become an avatar of death by controlling the aspect. Kurama wanted to see how far they could push this, as nothing seemed to be able to destroy Naruto, and that was good. Because just like his father said, he will be the one to bring great changes. Yes, he will. But not in the way that his father believed that he would. A few days passed, as Naruto hadn't seen Tsunami. He figured that she was busy at her home. As she finally came back up there, once again she brought him food to eat. He questioned about not seeing her. She told him that she had some visitors at her home, that is why she hadn't been able to come up here. As Naruto waved it off though, Tsunami was able to speak to Naruto. Her father was back home along with the Konoha ninjas. She never bothered Naruto with that. However, she was able to speak to him because he was a curious person, despite the fact that majority of what she knew about him was his name. He was a person that she could speak to about her insecurities or problems that she was currently facing at the moment, as there wasn't anyone else, because he listened. She just mostly wanted to vent about her situation. She never truly went into deep details about Gato, as she didn't want to bother Naruto with that. He saved her life, but her father had hired a team from Konoha to make sure that he was protected. She was too good for her own well-being. As Naruto sat there and spoke with her, Kurama was happy about this, wanting Naruto to socialize, to show him that not all humans were bad. Back then, Naruto's ideology was dark. There was only one other person that Naruto did not immediately want to slaughter. Kurama did not hesitate to crush them as well, but if he was going to fix the world, he can't just wipe out all humans. There need to be structure, proper connections in many different ways. So he wanted Naruto to have this way of truly understanding people and talking to people, because he was isolated for majority of his life. But he was learning and he was growing in every single sense of the word. Time skip. Naruto was going to say goodbye. Yes, he's been here long enough. Remember, he doesn't stay one place for too long, so it's time that he moves on, as he was here to say goodbye to Tsunami and Inari as well. However, when Naruto arrived, the front door was open. Naruto jumped down, looked around. No one was there. He's only been by this place once before, and that was earlier. She told him about her father not being here. Naruto started to look around as he noticed scuffle marks outside. Something wasn't right. He snapped his gaze upwards as he felt the chakra from the distance. Meanwhile, Sakura Haruno stood in front of the client. The 15-year-old girl was nervous and worried about her teammates. Inside of a massive ice prison was a young man named Sai and another young man named Sasuke Uchiha. Both boys were different in every single way. Their features kind of look a bit similar, but they were nothing alike. Sasuke Uchiha had just awakened his Sharingan. After 15 years of him believing that he would never awaken the eyes, believing that he was about to die, pushed his system. It seems the extra 2 years that was given was very needed. Sai was different, as he was able to create rather strange creations from his drawing. Both boys were handling themselves rather well. It wasn't so much in the beginning when they were new to the opponent's technique, because they never met this person before. They knew that he was the one that saved Sabusa's life, but he never fought. His technique did surprise them and almost cost Sasuke's life. But Sasuke was adapting. Haku was having a hard time. The Uchiha, he could handle, but that other boy, he was fast and skilled. Almost like he wasn't even showing his true skills. And Haku was right. Sai created multiple birds as he attached explosives to them, sending them towards the mirrors at once. Him and Sasuke hunkered down as a massive explosion took place. Haku started to reconstruct the mirrors, but Sai already had tiny snakes slip through the gaps. His chakra enlarged them. They opened their mouth to show. They had explosive notes in their mouth, exploding from the outside. The amount of chakra necessary to keep on refueling the mirrors. So he knows, Haku thought, as Sasuke started to blaze them with flames. Their tactic was to wear him down so that he would emerge. Haku leaped out of the mirror, allowing them to collapse. He's wasted too much chakra, and it's hard to get close to the both of them, with the Uchiha being able to dodge rather easily, and that boy, fast and skilled. He would take them out with his hands. After all, they might be fast and strong, but they weren't fast as him. And now, it is time that they face his speed up and personal. A rather dangerous battle took place in that moment, as Sai realized that holding back too much would cost the Uchiha his life. We get to see a bit of Sai's skills, as he was fast, strong, intelligent. He was a bred warrior without emotions. His tactics were dangerous. There was no hesitation. All of his strikes were aiming to kill. With a newly awakened Sharingan from Sasuke, Haku was unable to best them. Knocked down to the ground after receiving several slashes. Things became worse though when Sai sent a snake to bind his legs. He tried to break free, but an explosion took place, the snake having an explosive tag. His legs were badly burned. He was unable to stand, as the two of them stood there. Not to say that they got off fresh though. Sasuke looked like a porcupine. His eyes reverted back to normal. Sai had a few cold spots on him, and you could see that he pushed himself as well. Well, him pushing himself was to ensure that Sasuke did not die, because Sai was quite powerful, having been trained from he was extremely young. Haku realized that he's failed. He was a broken tool. That is when he heard it. Using his chakra that he had remained, he created a mirror underneath him. Damn it! Sasuke yelled, trying to race over there. You will only get yourself killed, Sai said. It was part of his objective not to allow Sasuke Uchiha to die. Sasuke was low on chakra, and he was moving like a porcupine. It was rather visible. The Chidori from Kakashi Hatake ripped through the chest of Haku as he saved his master. On the other side of the bridge, where Sakura and Tazuna was, Naruto landed. Behind them, though a distance away, as he saw the trail and where it ended. Naruto's eyes saw the boat. There was a tiny boat under, where they had used to take Tsunami and Inari. Naruto was tracking them. Both of them had a rather familiar smell. Due to his advancements because of the immortality, certain limits that most humans possess, he was able to break them with great amount of pain, but Naruto doesn't really feel pain anymore. But Naruto could smell them. His eyes focused, zooming in on the both of them. His range of view was far. They were both bound and gagged. Naruto jumped on top of the bridge and started to move. Sakura, she did not even hear anything. Neither did Tazuna, as Naruto stepped by them. His eyes were like a mirror, as Kurama could see what was going on outside. Naruto glanced towards the girl as Kurama saw the headband, and an idea came to his mind. An idea to help Naruto. An idea that could not fail. As he smirked, but for now, freeing those people was Naruto's top priority. He would not stop until they were safe. Sakura pointed her weapon towards Naruto, but he chose to ignore her. On the other side of the bridge, Gato finally arrived. Him and his man coming off the boat. Tazuna and Sakura slowly made their way. However, when they stepped through the mist, the one they saw a moment ago was gone, as they saw Sasuke and Sai. Where did he go? Who? Sasuke questioned. She wondered if she was going crazy, but Tazuna saw it as well. But the problem arose though when Inari and Tsunami was bound and gagged. As they were right at the foot of Gato, both Haku and Zabuza lie dead. After killing Haku by accident, Sai uses snakes to bind Zabuza because he broke free from the dogs. Kakashi plunged a kunai into his chest, ending the demon of the mist. The both of them collapsing beside each other, both of them having a chest wound. Perhaps it was a coincidence, or perhaps a rather strange event, the way the both of them died, killed by the hands of Kakashi Hatake. And now, they had a bigger problem to deal with. Please, I'll stop build the bridge. Just don't hurt them. Tazuna begged. Kakashi held a hand up for him to stay back. Knowing how ruthless this man in front of them were, he would not hesitate to put Tazuna down. Not him, personally, but behind him stood over 100 plus thugs. None of them really that great in the shinobi area, but they had the quantity, and it was a lot of them. Perhaps I'll hand the woman over to my boys here for them to have some fun. As they started to laugh, Tazuna clenched his fists, willing to give up his life until, people like you don't deserve any second chance. Gato looked down as he saw a blade through his chest. He was dead before he hit the ground. Yes, he was. Tsunami and Inari watched as Naruto swiped his hand over their head, unknowing that Naruto just decapitated the two men behind them. As he looked at them, their bounds were immediately sliced. Naruto broke his finger and removed it as it formed into a clone of him. Kurama taking control of the clone. I would rather they not see the image of what I'm going to show. I want them to remember me as someone that aided them, not what I'm about to do, said Naruto. Kurama nodded without saying anything. He grabbed the two and simply jumped away, clearing the entire bridge, shocking everyone that stood there. Who the hell is that? Sasuke said, as he looked at the one that jumped over their head. Hey, Kurama called out, looking towards Tazuna. Come with me. Get your family to safety. Tazuna did not hesitate. Kakashi grabbed his hand though. Who are you people, he questioned. That's not important. Just know that we're not here to kill you. We're friends. Removing the gag from Tsunami's mouth. They're a friend. It's Naruto. She don't know who this was, but it did not seem like it was Naruto and his features were a bit different. I know him. It's alright, father, she said. Tazuna pushed past Kakashi and made his way. That is when Kakashi heard it. The reason why Naruto did not want them to see him as he was. Naruto's disdain for humanity was strong. But it wasn't just all humanity anymore, it was those that think they can own people. He spent majority of his life under someone's control. That will never happen ever again. Sakura face turned green as she backed away. Even Sasuke was a bit put off, despite what he's witnessed after his brother showed him hell. The sheer brutality. There was no hesitation even as they pleaded and begged. He gutted them. He ripped them apart. By the end of it, Naruto could be seen kicking the bodies off, allowing them to fall into the rough water down below to be swallowed. Naruto ripped his own arm off and threw it into their boat. As it proceeded to explode, destroying the boat and blowing up the remaining bodies. It was a bloodbath down there. But the water would swallow it eventually though, as they were just tiny pieces that would drift off into the sea. When Naruto turned to face the Konoha ninjas, they were frightened. Kurama could speak to Naruto even while outside. I have a plan, he said. Kakashi analyzed the young man's face. The marks. As he blinked in shock and surprise. Can it really be? Naruto did not know who Kakashi was, but Kakashi knew who he was. Yes, he did. Naruto knew of his parents. Not personally though, but he did not know of their connection and Kakashi's. A long time ago, Naruto Uzumaki was taken away from the village, presumed dead by now. However, looking towards his person, the whisker marks. His eyes were different, yes, and his hair was different as well. However, the marks were the only thing that he was going off of. It was the only other person that he's ever seen with those marks. He knew that he might be wrong, but Naruto? Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto paused and looked up facing Kakashi, having a full-on conversation with Kurama in his mind. How do you know my name? You really are Naruto, Kakashi said with a shocked look on his face. Time skip. So, he used to live in Konoha? Sakura said. Yes, and he went missing some time ago. But he's different now, in every single way. As they watched as Naruto spoke to Tsunami and Inari as well. Once they were alone, are they the people that you were hiding away from? Naruto looked at her. I figured that there was something that was stopping you from being in the public. That is why I never told you about the problems that were taking place here. He placed a hand on her shoulder. You're a really wonderful woman, a wonderful mother, and a wonderful human being, he said. I'll make you a promise. This chaos and suffering that has plagued the world for so long, it has come in many different forms, and Gato is one of the latest faces. I'll make sure that it stops. I promise you that. I'll make sure that your land is no longer plagued by suffering and chaos ever again. That your people, that your child can grow up in a wonderful environment. A promise I'll never forget. If someone else had said something like that, perhaps she would say that it was impossible. No one can truly fix the world, but the look in his eyes and the way he spoke, there was just something. Before he left though, she enveloped him in a big hug, thanking him for everything that he's done for them. Team 7 and Naruto were returning back to the village. Kakashi trying to get to know Naruto. However, it was clear that Naruto did not remember much about his past. He told him that he woke up in the middle of nowhere. This was a few years back. He had to live on his own. Wild animals chasing after him. Bandits, thugs, thieves. It has been truly hell for the longest time now. However, he was able to overcome it and grow stronger. Learn, adapt to his surroundings. Meeting people along the way that teach him. Sasuke saw the blade. As he was looking at it, Naruto pulled it out. You're curious what this is? He said, handing it to the Uchiha. Sasuke being one to be a bit standoffish, but curiosity got the better of him as he took it. That isn't metal. Sai said, notice the odd composition of the blade. No, something better, said Naruto, but he did not elaborate. He saw the way Sakura was looking at him. Is there something wrong? Those people. At the land of waves, she said. What I did? You mean the ones I killed, he said, taking his blade from Sasuke. Kakashi became a bit worried, but Naruto sheathed the blade behind him. Do you understand what kind of people those were? They're rapists, murderers. Do you have any idea what they would do to someone like you if they are able to capture you? I've seen it with my eyes, said Naruto. I've seen how wicked this world is. So I stopped hesitating a long time ago. Because if you allow scum like that to survive, they're simply going to go on and hurt more people. And most people will be indirectly killed because of my action. So once I have my target, I end it, he said. She turned her head away, thinking about his words. The way he did it was just so brutal, but perhaps he was right, she thought to herself. When they finally arrived back to the village, Naruto paused at the gate. Remembering something, Kakashi questioned. Vague images, said Naruto, but they're not that clear. Perhaps this was a good thing, Kakashi thought to himself, because unknowingly Naruto did not know it, but his life in Konoha was not that good. There was one major factor that stopped him from truly having a good childhood within Konoha when he was younger. So perhaps it was best for him not to truly remember everything. As they found themselves venturing towards Hokage's tower, as Naruto walked through the village, his eyes were truly taking in everything, all the sights, everyone. Making his way, they made their way towards the Hokage's tower. When they entered the room, Hiruzen noticed the marks, stunned and shocked. As a big reveal came, he couldn't believe it. They thought he died. They thought he was dead. But no, here he was, alive and well, despite only the whisker marks and Naruto words being the only thing that would say that he was indeed Naruto. Hiruzen believed him without a doubt. Yes, he believed him without a single second of doubt. Hiruzen had planned for this in the past though. Yes, he had. As Naruto's blood was taken when he was much younger back in the village, Hiruzen had made sure that the blood was well taken care of, to ensure if they did find something they could use it to test the blood. It was just a formality, but Naruto didn't seem to have any problems, as he willingly gave up his blood. Hiruzen sat down with him. However, Naruto did not remember the man. They didn't meet a couple of times, but Naruto did not remember him as he thought. When the blood test came back that he was indeed Naruto Uzumaki, however, the doctor wanted to speak to him. Hiruzen went outside as Naruto was left alone in the office. I told you that it will work. You see, what he did was against the rules, and he doesn't want the Hokage to find out about this. So he will not confront you in the way that will be seen to anything in the public. But you have to be prepared. But this is a better path for you to take. You are right in the grand scheme of things. And this is just the first phase, Kurama said. I know, said Naruto. I wonder, could they have found anything in my blood, he questioned. Perhaps a bit abnormal, but nothing too out of the ordinary. And that is exactly what the doctor was speaking to with the Hokage. Naruto blood was not normal. The passengers inside of it was... something was wrong. Their machines could not tell him exactly what was going on, but something just wasn't 100%. His blood was unique in a way that they've never seen before. With his understanding, they would like to run some tests. Hiruzen told him to go ahead and do it. Curious about Naruto changes as well, as Naruto told him that he woke up this way, as he did not remember what he looked like. Hiruzen tried to speak to Naruto the entire day, trying to make him understand that this was his home, that he no longer need to fend for himself, that he no longer need to run. Meanwhile, report. As Danzo sat down receiving the report from Sai, his agent. Sai said a word that shocked Danzo to his core. Nearby was Gaia. Gaia was specially trained to make sure that all of his operatives were kept in check. Sai was one of them as well. Being on the team that he was on, he could be truly influential. He needed to learn how to properly stay in contact with them and everything. So there was mandatory sessions after his, duties. Sai was too low in the food chain to know anything about what Danzo had done. Once all information was extracted from him, Sai went to Gaia. Gaia questioned him about the mission, trying her best to not make it look obvious that her real desire was to know all about Naruto. Naruto had seen the face of Danzo Shinura on more than one occasions. Danzo was panicking. He needed to stay away from the boy. Damn it, he cursed in his mind. Sai told him that the child got special training, stronger, faster in every way. He needs to ensure that he doesn't find out that he's here, that he has anything to do with Konoha, because if the Hokage finds out about this, he was screwed. He was the one that kidnapped the child all those years ago. There was no hesitation there. He will die. Yes, the Hokage would sentence him to death. He had no doubt about that. So he had to be very careful how he handled this until he can make sure that the child is taken away, and this time, he will not escape no matter what. As Danzo immediately got to work to ensure that what he did never come to the light of day. Never, ever, ever. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto was showing around the village. The Hokage even sent word to Jiraiya. Their relationship was a bit strained due to the fact that Naruto was gone. Both of them saying things that they wish they could have taken back in the time. However, now Naruto was back. Jiraiya was stunned when he got the word. As he was making his way to Konoha, that boy was the last connection that he had to Minato after all. Someone that he saw as his own son. Then again, he was the boy's godfather. As Naruto was shown around the village, taking stock to what the Hokage had to say, the man was being cheerful and nice in every single way of the word. He got Naruto an apartment, Hiruzen sat as Kakashi Hatake was there. You think he's adjusting? Kakashi said, it's going to be rough at first. I want Inoichi to have a few sessions with him. Hiruzen said, after what Naruto had said to Sakura and Kakashi had told Hiruzen about it, there was a lot to unpack there. Hiruzen believed that Naruto wasn't aware of his past because he was blocking it out. He believed that what happened to him was so traumatic that his mind chose to block it out. While this might be good for now, eventually he would erupt. And they have to keep in mind that Naruto was no normal person. Being back in Konoha, Hiruzen remembered that Naruto wasn't treated fairly. Perhaps, being back in the village would jog any memories. That is why the Hokage was his personal guide, to ensure that, if he indeed blew up, he would be there to subdue him. But Naruto seemed to be casual and calm. That is why he wanted him to speak with Inoichi on the matter. When he brought it up, Naruto seemed rather okay. However, Hiruzen did tell him that it was a mandatory thing because he was gone for so long. Naruto didn't have a problem with that, willing to talk with their therapist. But of course, that would not be all. For the next following days, Hiruzen kept an eye on Naruto as Naruto could be seen walking around the village, calmly speaking to people around him. They had no idea who he was. The marks on his face were visible, but, well, it was a long time ago when Naruto left the village. And they believed that he was dead. The demon child was gone and dead. So they would not take into stock of anything. Not to mention the hair and eyes were completely different as well. Hiruzen was watching Naruto as he adapted to the situation. Jiraiya finally arrived back. The Sannin made his way as he started to track and follow Naruto. Jiraiya wanted to tell Naruto who he was. There was so much regrets, so much anger there, that he was never there for the child of Minato and Kushina. But now, things were different. He had another opportunity, but how should he broach this? How should he go about it? The Sannin decided to venture downwards, casually passing Naruto. Naruto paused and looked at the man. Jiraiya wasn't expecting this. He wanted to casually bump into him, but when Naruto questioned, "Why are you following me?" Jiraiya blinked. "I'm a pretty good sensor." "Why are you following me?" Naruto asked once more. "I knew you before you left this village," Jiraiya said. Lying to Naruto, well, in a way, he never knew him personally. "I was just seeing how you were doing. You were a child back then. None of us has any idea what happened to you. I was surprised when I heard that you were back." Naruto walked alongside the man. "I'm sorry, but if we did know one another, I don't recall." This was good for Jiraiya. "Forget about it," he said. "How are you doing?" Casually speaking with Naruto, trying to get to know him without bringing up anything about the past just yet. The past of who his parents were, to be quite exact, and that he was his godfather. From the day of spending with him, Jiraiya was happy to get to know the boy. He was pleasant, polite, nice. He was a wonderful child. The regrets were just piling on. Hiruzen and Jiraiya sat down and spoke, and Jiraiya believed it best for him to speak with Inoichi, as Naruto was taken there. Inoichi came back after the first day. You could see the look on his face. Something was indeed wrong. Whatever Naruto has been through, it was so traumatic, so great. Whatever happened to him all those years ago, it fractured his memory, putting a complete erasure on the past. However, being in this place, Hiruzen was afraid that it would trigger something, and Inoichi agreed with him on that Naruto might remember glimpses and they might turn into full-blown memories. And if he were to, If those memories were as bad as he thought, this would not be pleasant in the slightest. But for now, they would work together. Later that night, as Naruto lay down on the bed that was gifted to him, "They're falling for it," Kurama said. Yes, Naruto knew who they were. He spent the last couple of years understanding as much as he could about Konoha without actually being there. The little gimmicks that he was putting on was for Inoichi's show. Naruto wasn't traumatized by anything. He remembered every single detail of the hell that he's been through. He could tell that he was being watched. Intentionally, he went to Jiraiya. He did everything intentionally because Naruto was playing a big part here. And he was careful because of not these people around him, but of the one that he desired to save. It was Gaia. He wanted to save her, but Danzo has been hidden. Danzo has been quiet. Extremely so. Well, tonight was different. The envoy that was guarded to watch Naruto collapsed down to the ground. His mind invaded. Beyond his own command, Danzo's Shamira was there. 3 of his root agents. Sir, he left. Danzo had a seal that he wanted to apply to Naruto, but he had to be there personally to apply to the child. But they never expected Naruto to leave his home this time of night. Naruto stretched as he made his way. Danzo saw him. Naruto saw the man. Danzo was confused. How did he? He was on the other side of the building, but now he was on the same road. "Oh, hello. Good night," said Naruto, greeting Danzo as he walked by him. Good night," Danzo said. He stopped his root agents from making a move, as there were some people roaming around the night as well. But they were not the problem. The child had no idea who he is. That brought a little smirk to his face. So, something big really did happen to him. Danzo was a master at collecting information, trying to find out everything that he could. But it seems something really did affected him, because the child did not know who he was. His people has already made their move to Inoichi's notes. However, Inoichi's concern also concerns him. His glimpse tonight might bring back images of the past. But for now, he doesn't remember who he was, so it's best if he still takes him. Danzo made his way, about to give the order until 3 Konoha ninjas could be seen. Danzo faded into the darkness along with his root ninjas, as one of them was Kakashi Hatake, along with 2 others. Danzo cursed under his breath. "Damn it. Pull back," he said. Once they were away from them, the 3 Konoha ninjas reverted back to clones of Naruto and poofed away. "Calm down, kid," Kurama said. "You need to keep a control over your emotions, otherwise you're gonna blow everything." If you could see the inside of Naruto's palm, you would know why. Naruto's palm was dripping with blood. The only thing that he wanted to do in that moment was to rip Danzo apart. But he had to fight, literally fight back those emotions with every ounce of willpower that he had in order not to snap the man in two. And he was successful. Naruto took several deep breaths as haunting memories of the past returned back to him. His eyes started to glow menacingly. He took more deep breaths as he tried to calm himself down. Kurama, reassuring words, getting to him, slowly calming him, relaxing him. As Naruto finally calmed himself down, you're right. This would be too easy for him. He needs to suffer for what he did. Naruto did not enjoy causing pain. He did what was necessary, just like what he did was necessary for those thugs to die. However, truly inflicting suffering was not something that he enjoyed. However, Danzo Shimura was someone that he was going to enjoy picking apart piece by piece. And anyone that get in his way will be ripped asunder as well, Naruto thought to himself. Days turned into weeks, as Danzo has been keeping a low profile. Naruto's sessions with Inoichi were becoming much more intense, as Naruto was breaking through barriers of memories, which caused him to relive some rather horrific moments. He was not suitable to be a ninja at the moment. That was very clear. But Naruto kept on returning back to the sessions even after, getting pissed and getting angry because he didn't want to relive those memories. However, Inoichi saw that he was trying, so he was trying to help Naruto, but all of this was simply fake. The memories did haunt Naruto, yes. The pain was still there, but this had nothing to do with it. None of these people can truly understand his pain. But one of the sessions, Naruto found himself actually glimpsing into his own past and not just fabricated memories. Inoichi told him to close his eyes and calm his mind. As Naruto started to see himself on that table, his flesh being sliced into, he started to see himself being picked apart, his chakra being stolen. Naruto started to get mad, uncontrollably so. Stop! Kurama shouted at him. When Naruto opened his eyes, Inoichi had been shouting at him to calm down. Inoichi was frightened, as Naruto had thrown the sofa through the goddamn wall, wrecking the table to the side. I'm sorry, said Naruto, calming down. Inoichi was shocked. This emotional outburst seemed different from the other ones. Seemed much more violent, much more terrible. What did you see? He questioned, still pushing on with the session despite the chaos. I was bound, captured. I was going through extraordinary pain. It was mind-breaking, said Naruto. Inoichi believed they found the source of it all. Someone experimented on him. Someone tortured him. That is what he has blocked out. He told Naruto that he could go home for the day, that he should relax. He should calm his mind and relax, as he taught Naruto some rather good ways to calm himself. Naruto actually used them. Are you alright? Kurama questioned. It seems things got a bit more real than I thought there. I'm still holding back a lot. No one can blame you after what you've been through, Kurama said to him. Naruto took a breath, calming himself down as he arrived. However, the moment he opened the door, he saw the paper and the way it was folded into a crane. Naruto knew exactly who that belongs to. He remembered her teaching him to do it. Naruto folded it outwards in a special pattern as he saw it. Moments later, in the trees of Konoha, you could see Naruto hopping from tree to tree within the forest area. This was the real one, as the other one was at home, being observed by the Anvus. They could not tell between Naruto clone or himself, because Naruto clone was not exactly a clone, it was a part of him. Yes. So it wasn't something that they could tell between. Naruto finally arrived. This should be the proper location, he said. And he saw her. A smile greeted Naruto's face. It was her. It was Gaia. Naruto did not hesitate as he made his way towards her and hugged her. Gaia stood there, tears gathered in her eyes. Overwhelmed, he was alive, he was okay. And he was actually here. Aside from Kurama, this was the only other person that gave Naruto a reason to live. Yes, he tried to end it all, but after that, his desire to save her for what she did, his desire to keep her safe, his desire to protect her because whenever things got bad, she was always there. At first, she was doing her job, but as the time went by, she started to let him truly know how it was affecting her. Their sessions became longer. She started to break down, realizing what she was doing was wrong. She wanted him to live. Naruto wasn't going to tell her that. He tried to end it all. But she was one of the reasons why he was now still alive. Both her and Kurama were the only true good people in his life. And Naruto was grateful for all that she did. She knew that freeing him, the possibility of her death was very high, but she did not care. All she wanted was to make sure that he was safe. She gave him the information where to go, to avoid them. She spent months telling him how to avoid tracking, how to avoid being spotted, how to blend in. Naruto trusted her without a doubt. The problem is Danzo did not trust her. You see, Danzo spent years vetting his man, trying to find out how did Naruto escape. She was the only one that he did not vet because he never believed that she would ever betray him. Unfortunately though, observing from the far distance was a very special root member that wasn't from this village. His eyes were red, completely. He possessed a rather special dojutsu, similar to the Byakugan but not as powerful, avoiding detection by staying far away. As he confirmed Danzo's theory, she has been watched ever since Naruto returned back. Extremely so, she has been playing things cool for the last couple of years, but she has been found out. And Danzo, he didn't like when people betray him. He hated it. However, this girl was one of the only two important people to Naruto. And Danzo, well, his desire was to see her dead now. But you can't do that. Well, he doesn't know that because he was unaware of what Naruto has become. He's unaware about the hell he's going to release if he dare to harm this girl. But only the future can tell. Because I'm out for now, guys. If you want to see next part, just go ahead and comment down below and tell me, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace.